Now the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops, and it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Out of pads. Good fish too. Hard pulling fish. See you through, boy. There we go. Come on, up here. Wow, it bait. Look, there's another one got those blotches on him. There's blotches on that side, one on the fin. Okay, buddy, let's go. Woo! Hello everybody. Well, it looks like we're off to a good start today. And we're doing the type of show that I really enjoy doing. That's answering some of the questions we get from our viewers. And we surely hope some of them will help you with your fishing. Now, our first one is a good one. Listen, Bill, you've fished Pickwick and Kentucky Lake for years. What is a normal seasonal pattern from, let's say, late summer to mid-fall? Well, normally TBA begins winter pool drawdown during the summer, which lasts for several months. It's normally a slow fall, and during this period, water levels fluctuate some on into October. But as the drawdown continues into early to mid-September, bass are moving into the bays and flats. As fall approaches, the shad have moved back into the creek coves, and many bass can be found there also. Now, this is not to say that all the bass leave the river channel. They'll hang close to the ledges where cover is located, and they'll remain there on toward winter. Pretty little old fish. There it is. Ta-ta. See those two big old blades? You can just slow roll that bait. Got a lot of reflection there. Got a gold and a big silver Colorado blade. There are a lot of cypress knees in here. A lot of root system, kind of a donut around that tree. A lot of tree limbs. A lot of pad stems. And once I get this bait out in front of them, I can let it sink a little bit and then just slow roll it. Let it go a little bit deeper. Alrighty, here's one about Garmin graphs. Our good friend and pro fisherman Brent Chapman has been telling America how to use Garmin graphs for quite some time now. I asked Brent to tell us a little bit about the EchoMap Plus series.
Well, the EchoMap comes in the original 7-inch screen and now a new 9-inch model with the same crystal clear sonar and preloaded mapping as the previous units. And now with Keyed Assist touchscreen and built-in Wi-Fi, it lets you use the Active Captain app as well.
Then I asked Brent how he planned on using the EchoMap Plus series.
You know, the Active Captain app, what a really cool feature. With the new One Chart, it helps you organize, scout, and keep your maps up to date right on your cell phone. And then when I get outside to my boat, I can transfer these straight to my units. I can even get texts and emails if I want to.
That's some great information, Brent. Thanks for sharing.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine. Go boldly. Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development. Come experience the kind of beauty that can only be made in Tennessee. Go online today for your free Tennessee vacation guide.
Where are you going, buddy? Get out from all that trolling mode. It's got a sharp hook in it, I know that. There we go. All right, how about this one? Bill, I do a lot of summertime fishing on lakes that have many timbered coves and some shoreline timber. The problem I'm having is catching bass around the base of these trees or on the bottom around them. Have you got any suggestions? Now this isn't always the case, but I've seen many times where you have timbered areas, and if the bass are not on the bottom, they're up suspended in the branches. This normally occurs in the summer because there's low DO levels, oxygen, on or close to the bottom, mainly due to the decomposition of the wood that is built up on the floor of the lake around the base of the trees. There's one. Look at him fight out there. Ooh, what a jump. What kind of jump is that? Come here. Boy, you're talking about slow rolling a bait. You can flat slow roll it. Those two big old blades. Look at that. Yes, you can. You liked that, didn't you? Toodaloo. He didn't know what happened. How you like that? Okay, you got one here about hooks. Bill, I'm having a lot of trouble finding a good hook for creature baits. Help. With these little compact baits, they're typically Texas rigged. Therefore, you're gonna need a hook with a wide gap between the shaft and the point that allows enough bite on the hook set when using these little fat-bodied baits. Also, a heavy, straight shank hook that has a barb on the shank below the eye, which locks the hook body in place. Now that's very, very important. Another thing, the straight shank design means there is a direct line pull when you set the hook for a better hookup. Let me show you the bait we're using today. It's a Bass Pro Shop spinnerbait in a 1/2 ounce size. It's called a Slow Roller Magnum. It's a pretty neat bait. It has a premium number 5 and number 6 Colorado blade on it. It has a needle sharp hook, a premium hole, and one skirt on it. It stays on there when you put it on. It's designed, as I said, to slow roll. When fish are either deep or shallow, you can bottom bounce it, you can pick it up and free fall it. It works exceptionally well, but it works good fish shallow like we're fishing it today because these two blades keep it up. These two number 5 and number 6 Colorado blades can keep it up shallow, and then as you bring it out toward deeper water, you can just kind of slow it down. And another feature that I like about this particular bait, it's got a bait keeper on it right here. This wire guard, you put a plastic trailer on it right here. It comes in several different colors. Real good bait. We're using a Quantum smoke reel. We're using strand 14-pound test line on a 7-foot medium heavy Quantum smoke rod.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Quantum Rods and Reels, Mystic Lubricants, Lubrication Domination, and Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's equipment log is brought to you in part by Fish Defunk. It keeps your hands scent-free and clean so fish can't smell you. Use Fish Defunk unscented while fishing and Fish Defunk scented after fishing to remove all odors. Today's show is sponsored in part by Stren, the standard of dependability since 1958. Fish Defunk, kill the stink. And Garmin, fight your fish, not your fish finder.
Whoa, man. Gonna make me move. Gonna make me move. A toughy, little hard pulling rascal. Look at that little chunk. You like the looks of it, huh? Look at it good, because you'll be seeing it again. Ta-ta, look how fat that is. You wonder why you think he's hungry? Get on back down there. Are there any advantages to using braid when topwater fishing? Yep, it does have advantages. It gives you a sharper action to your bait with much less effort on your wrist and on long distance hook sets. You'll also have much better hook setting power with braid than mono due to the stretch factor. Now mono, as great as it is, stretches and braid doesn't. It's also best to tie right here. What you want to do is tie a string knot, a short section of 14 inches, say 14, maybe 20-inch section of fluorocarbon leader to your braid. It's a little stiffer, and what it does, it helps the lure from catching the line. Just tie it right here to your braid. Makes a big difference. Got a question here about night fishing. Bill, I do a lot of shallow water night fishing during the warmer months. What would be your #1 lure for night fishing? Well, about 15 to 20 years ago, I had a home on Pickwick Lake up on the Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee line, where I used to do just a tremendous amount of night fishing, at least 2 nights a week, sometimes 3. And if I could get away with it, more than that. From about mid-July until it got so foggy, and fog usually moved in around mid-October, and I had to quit. But my #1 bait back then was a 3/8 ounce black spinnerbait with a silver #5 Colorado blade, and I used a black frog chunk back then attached to it. And it's still one of my favorite baits. But now, instead of using a frog chunk, I use one of Bass Pro Shop's Swim Elite chunks for a trailer. It's an excellent bait, but it gives the bait a tremendous amount of buoyancy, and that particular bait has got a tremendous amount of action. There's one. Whoa, buddy. Look at him pull down. They're a strong fish, boy. Put that pole down. Go down, pole. Ooh. Come up here. Oh boy, look at you. Ooh, that's a big fat fish. Oh man. Too pretty. Fat that is. Look at the black blotch on him. On his tail. On his fin. Nice. Fat too. See, pretty.
Bill's question and answer of the week is brought to you by Bill Dance Digital. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube for great information that can improve your fishing.
There's no doubt the fine line we put on our reels can be the most important part of our equipment. So we're only as good as this connection. And this is why we should always use a quality line and check it periodically at the knot and 12 to 14 inches from the knot. Run your line through your fingers and feel for nicks, abrasions, and wear and tear. Side check your knot. If there's any doubt, retie.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort, and Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. Closed captioning provided by Power Pole, the original shallow water anchor. Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
A new kind of lure box that lets you drop everything and lose nothing. People have accused me of being scatterbrained, but if I happen to drop this box, the only thing that's scattered is me. They come in 3 sizes. Get you 1, get you 2, or better than that, get them all.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Right at the boat. Onto the boat. Oh, you're pretty. Come on back. I see those blades just a turn. Okay, 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 okay. She's pretty. That is a sharp hook, I can tell you that. You know that, don't you? You know that, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do, sweet thing. Going home. You ready? Boy, these are strong pulling fish. They don't want to come out of that cover. They can see it in this clear water. Alrighty, going from clear water to muddy water. Here's a question concerning muddy water. You know, I fish a lot of muddy and off-colored water, and you'd be amazed at just how shallow bass will be in a muddy water environment. And the reason for it, well, it's really simple. They can see so much better. You know, bass are primarily side feeders, and The reason they move shallow in a muddy water environment is there's more light penetration there. When fishing these conditions, it's important to always fish around shallow water objects, regardless of its size, because bass become very object-oriented during these times and these conditions. It's important to make several casts to each piece of cover that you're fishing, creating a sound path with your lure, giving the bass ample time to search out and locate your offering. Make a cast, reel it. Make another cast, reel it back. He hears that sound and he starts a search pattern to locate that sound. And maybe the third cast, he's gotten closer. The fourth cast, he's right there on it. Boom. The fifth cast, he's right there. Boom. He locates it and he hits it. So it's important to always make several casts to that particular object. And when you're fishing it, fish it slow. That's real important. Don't try to overpower the bait and fish it fast. That's real important. Alrighty, ready for another one? Okay, how about one on braided line? Bill, there's a product called Dyneema that's found in braided line. What is it? Well, Dyneema is a fiber that's considered to be the world's strongest fiber. And the good folks at Strand make their Superline braid with it for strength, toughness, and durability. And it's some really fine stuff. I use it all the time. In fact, I'm using it on this reel right here. Look at that big old fish right there. Look at those blades just a turning. Come on up here, baby. Easy. Wow. Now you talking about a big old fat one. Is that one? Well, guess what? I got a question now. What do you say when all the time is gone for the show? You say, thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed our get-together today, and goodbye till next time.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.